A little graph this evening. I've not done a graph since I've been at school, so I'm really impressed that I've come up with this evening. This is all taking data from BFREPA, who are the British Free Range Egg Producers Association. They take the price of the retail price of eggs and jot them down every month, and they just produced some tables with all the prices in for the last year. So I thought I would copy it out onto a little bar chart or a little graph so you can see it for yourselves. So we are down here at the bottom. This is our producer cost. This is the packer price, and all of these different colours are the different supermarket retailers. So if we start back here and we look at December 21, our packer price was about 110p per dozen. And if you went to M&S or Waitrose, you would have paid £4 per dozen for 6 free range eggs. So you'd have paid £2 a carton basically for eggs in M&S or Waitrose, and it being £2.50 per dozen for Sainsbury's, £1.98 for in Lidl, so 99p per box. And we were getting £1.10. So it's just a slight margin of profit here going into the new year. When we got to February, Putin declared war on Ukraine. Suddenly, all the wheat and the oil and the soy and our feed inputs went shooting up, and we've seen a huge increase in costs in a couple of months. Yet our packer price stayed stagnant. There was a lot of talk in the industry. We need to have better prices. We had a little price increase, but nothing tearing. Yet the retailers are starting to lift their prices a bit, seeing that the egg prices needing to shift up to because the cost base was increasing for us. But actually our packer price never got to our cost of production. So as the further you go along, there's some nice increases here in the last few months. Look, Waitrose are now up £5.50 per dozen, so that's £2.25 for a box of 6 large eggs in Waitrose at the moment. And yet the packer price is £1.30 a dozen. So £2.25 for a box of 6 large eggs in Waitrose at the moment. And yet the packer price is £1.30 a dozen. So we're being paid £1.30. Our cost is £1.45 per dozen. And then these are the prices that the retailers are charging. This is not sustainable. When that orange dot is above the red dot, that means we are losing money. We're losing there 25p a dozen, 20p a dozen, 20p, 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 23p here. And this month just had a price increase of 8p a dozen. And so large is currently trading at £1.30 a dozen for the packer. So the packer is paying the producer £1.30, but it's costing us £1.45 to produce those eggs. That's a loss. 15p a dozen. You cannot keep going and making a loss. This is why you're seeing shortages on the shelves, because farmers just cannot keep losing tens and hundreds of thousands of pounds depending on your size. And it comes to a point you say you've just got to get out. You just got to cull the birds, cut your losses. There's a huge risk to your business as well of avian flu at the minute, and that's the turnaround, clean down costs for that are going to be huge if you catch that. And is it worth the risk? Definitely not if you're still losing money. So packers and supermarkets, you need to get your act together and start giving us a bit more of this margin, because we're bearing all the cost and being paid below cost of production. We need to see packer prices up here, and you guys bumping your prices up if you need to, so that we all have a sustainable share of the market. This is not sustainable. You will not be getting eggs very shortly, because we just cannot keep going on. You guys, what are you going to do about it?